Hey everyone, it's April and welcome back to my channel. Today is my first video of the new year, so I just want to wish all of you guys a happy and healthy new year. And my first video is going to be a DIY, kind of a combo of winter and Valentine's Day. And I promised you guys I would show a little bit of needle felting, so here we go. Now before we begin, I'm no expert in needle felting. I just started doing this myself, probably about 6 months ago, started playing around with it. And I bought a whole bunch of different colors of the wool. This is like the white color. And what I'm going to be doing today is making a snowman, just a little head, just so it could be a beginner project that wouldn't be too complicated and that maybe you guys could get the hang of it. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of just spreading the wool out, and I'm going to start bunching it together to kind of make a ball shape. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to be taking my needle and I'm going to keep jabbing it in and kind of just, it's like you're tucking the wool into the wool and it kind of sticks together until it kind of forms a shape. Now, as far as needle felting and the supplies that you need, I would definitely get, whatever colors you're going to need for a specific project. Hobby Lobby sells them. They come in little packs, different colors, or you can get a variety pack that has maybe like 6 or 7 colors. And you'll also need some needles, and you'll need something that you're going to be punching down into. This is a foam block, which I believe I did buy at Hobby Lobby, but you can kind of make one of these yourself with a gigantic piece of foam as well. But either way, the main technique is that you're always going to be working on the foam and you're going to be jabbing that needle into it. That way it goes down into the foam and not into like another hard surface. And you have to be very careful not to jab yourself in the finger, which I do a lot. Doesn't hurt too bad, but it definitely does draw a little bit of blood, I will warn you. But if you're careful, I think they do sell like finger guards as well that you can put on. I'm just not that careful. But anyway, as you can see, kind of getting like a cloud shape here as I'm poking it and just kind of making a big lump. But I promise you it will come together. Just keep tucking and folding it over until you get a shape that resembles the ball that you're going to be using for your snowman. Now, as I'm doing that, I just wanted to let you guys know that this video is in collaboration with a really good friend of mine here on YouTube. Her name is Mary Beth, and she does amazing videos that have to do with DIY projects with supplies from the Dollar Tree. And she also does a lot of like thrifting and then takes her items and remakes them into something beautiful for her home. So if you're into those kind of videos, which I definitely am, head on over to her channel and check out her videos. She's making a really neat wreath and a tree for winter. So I will have all of her information down in the description box below. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm just taking another piece of the wool, one that's more even and flat, and I'm going to kind of just lay it over that gigantic ball that I made, and this will kind of smooth things out, hide any like lumps or imperfections, and just really get it to look nice and professional. So I'll just keep laying it over it and then tucking it in again with the needle. Kind of like an overlay, I would call this. This is kind of like a refining step that I do just because I think it makes it look so much nicer. And the great thing about needle felting is you can add as much as you want and keep building onto things. It's really hard to mess up, and if you do, you can just either remove the wool or you can add more onto it. So I'm going to just keep poking and poking here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit until we get to the shape that we're looking for. If you are coming over from Mary Beth's channel, then welcome. Hi, my name is April. My channel is House to Home. I do some DIY projects once in a while, but I do a lot more shopping hauls, decorating idea tips, and a lot of home tours here on my channel. So if you are into that sort of thing and you like the rustic, farmhouse, primitive style, then definitely consider subscribing. I would love to have you be part of my channel. Moving on, now that we have our shape, I'm going to take some black and I'm going to take the smallest amounts and I'm going to start working on the eyes. And what I do is I will take a small bit and I will just lay it right on top and just start taking pieces and poking them all into the same spot and forming the eye. I find that this helps kind of make a better shape than forming it into a ball first and then attaching it. I feel like I have a lot more wiggle room to kind of, move it around, center it, get all that wool all tucked in there nice and clean. And I will keep doing that until I get the perfect shape of an eye. Moving on to the other eye, I will do the same thing. Just kind of, trying to space them out evenly so there's the same amount of white space on each side. And I'll just give that a few pokes until I have that one matching up. And as you can see, the eye is a little bit smaller than the first one. So I'm just going to take another little tiny piece of the wool and just add it right in there. It's better to start out with too little than too much because you can always just keep adding it on. So now that we have our eyes, we are going to move on to the nose. Now you could do this a number of different ways. I want mine to stick out and be kind of 3D. So I'm going to take a piece of orange and I'm just gonna kind of fold it in half and make a shape so that the point of the nose will be where the fold is. And I'm just going to keep poking at it until I kind of get the shape of the nose that I want. Wanting to leave the end to be more of a point and kind of just form like a cone shape. And it's okay if you have some extra sticking out at the end because I'm going to show you what we do with that when we attach it to his face. Now that it's kind of looking like a carrot shape, I will stop and put it up to my snowman's face to make sure that I didn't make it too big or too small. And I kind of like the size it is, so I'm going to rip off a lot of that extra that I have on the ends. And then that is what I'm going to use to attach it. So I spread it out. It's kind of on the white of the snowman's face, and I'm just going to start taking those loose flyaways and poking them in, and that is how we're going to attach it. It'll all be hidden, and if you just keep grabbing a little bit at a time with the needle, it will just tuck in there very nicely and secure your nose into place. And now that he is looking super cute with this carrot nose, we're going to work on the mouth. I'm going to make the same repeated steps that I did for the eyes, except I'm going to probably put maybe 5 or 6 little buttons for the mouth. So I'll start out with a real tiny piece. I'll start tucking it in there just so I can kind of get my smile started. And then you'll just keep repeating and spacing them out evenly and making that smile underneath his nose. And that's our snowman head. Pretty easy, in my opinion. I hope you guys are able to follow along. And he would be great to just kind of use as like a little filler, put him on a shelf, turn him into an ornament, so many things. He's really, really cute. And moving on to the hearts, they're a little bit different. We're gonna start out by taking some red. You can do pink, whatever colors you would want for Valentine's Day. I'm just going to take a little lump here and I'm going to start poking at it and kind of trying to make the initial shape of a heart. So I'll have the point down on the bottom with the two rounded parts on the top and just kind of eyeballing it. I mean, if you're not really good at drawing hearts, you can kind of just look at something as a reference and try to get a better idea so it would fit on top of it. But as you can see, I'm just going to keep doing that. I'm going to keep moving the wool around and forming the shape. And then once I do that, we'll start building onto it. So now that we have our basic shape, I'm just going to keep taking small amounts of wool and adding it to it. I'll just lay it right on top and just keep tucking until I make it thicker and kind of more refined around the edges. I will peel it up off of the foam and start like tucking it and layering it on the other side as well. The main point is that it already has the basic shape. It is just kind of fuzzy. So the more you poke at it and the more you add on to it, you will definitely smooth it out and get it to have a more clean and professional look. So after I keep continuously doing this, I will keep poking until I'm happy with the final result. And what my plan to do with these hearts is you could either take maybe like 6 or 7 of them and you could make a garland. You could get a needle and kind of string some twine through them, or hot glue, whatever would be easier for you. Or in my case, I'm going to like add them to some other things that I have, particularly like a snowman, a teddy bear, just random things that I have out for decor that if I added just like a little red heart next to him, that it would look more Valentine's Day. Like this snowman, for example, who is already made out of felt. I did not make him, but I just thought maybe I could just stick that little heart next to him and make him look more Valentine's Day. And that is it, guys. I thank you so much for watching today. I hope you found this tutorial kind of helpful and you got some tips. I know it can be a very time-consuming process and a little challenging until you get the hang of the basic shapes. But if you would like to see more videos like this in the future, I will definitely do them. Head on over to Mary Beth's channel and check out her video. Subscribe if you are new. And until the next one, I will see you guys then.